Hi, I'm Mort, host on Change Your Voice, Change Your Life. I have in studio with me two young ladies, one with a condition that is simple to treat, according to me. The Wall Street Journal interviewed Norton Simon, a very wealthy guy, in 1980, front page, and he called me miraculous because I saved his voice. He had what is called muscle tension disorder, but for 35 years it was then called myasthenia laryngeus. They changed the term, but it's the same thing. And he had a poor voice. He could hardly talk, and I helped him to get his voice back. For 35 years, he didn't have much of a voice. That's on the front page of the Wall Street Journal in 1980. The American Speech and Hearing Association said that my claim that I can change voices in seconds is not validated, that the American Speech and Hearing Association, of which I'm a member and long-standing, it takes months and months, 3 months or more, by voice pathologists to find the right voice, if that. I do it in seconds, 5 seconds, 10 seconds. I do it on Oprah, I do it on CNN, I do it on national radio, Larry King, and so forth. Somebody's wrong. They also said on that front page story in the Wall Street Journal that the conditions I treat, spasmodic dysphonia, this in 1980, are not severe, and they're probably, they question whether it's spasmodic dysphonia or not. Poppycock, it was. So I'm up against the American Speech and Hearing Association, of which I'm a member, and the medical community, which says and guarantees there are no cures of spasmodic dysphonia, and that I can't do what I'm doing, changing voices for those with bad and raspy voices, such as the young lady we're going to have in a minute to talk with you about it. We're going to run the Fox News network. Let's run that now, because that's telling.
In today's FoxRx Health News, an ailment that many people see as hopeless. It's called spasmodic dysphonia, or in simpler terms, strangled voice. What it does is change normal speech into strangled whispers. But now there is some hope. Joining us is Dr. Morton Cooper. He's a voice pathologist who's written several books on how to improve your voice. Also with us is Fran Frederick, who is one of his patients. Welcome to both of you. Thanks for being with us.
My pleasure.
Doctor, first let me ask you, just to explain to people how this thing comes about. Do people misuse their voices and it ends up being, something happens with their vocal cords that they get so sort of gummed up that they can barely speak?
Absolutely. They talk in the lower throat. The medical people call it a focal laryngeal dystonia. I find it's a dysphonia. That means that they're misusing their voice, and I take the voice out of the lower throat and I put it up in the face. And take a listen to the voice that this young lady had, Fran. I'll play it.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
That's the strangle voice.
All right. Can we hear Fran speak? Fran, if you would.
Yes,
just speak to us.
hi. I'm speaking.
Do
I sound a little better?
I would say you sound a lot better.
I feel a lot better, too.
What sort of treatment did you go through?
Actually, it's a direct voice rehabilitation treatment where basically you learn how to talk out of the lower throat and bring the actual speaking into the mask, which is the nose and the mouth.
Right. Now, doctor, I mean, there's been a lot of coverage on this, and there are other doctors who recommend injecting botulinum toxin, which we should explain to people is a poison into people's throats.
Poison. Right. And Fran had that at Vanderbilt, and she'll tell you about what happened to her.
I did have one Botox injection, and I will never have a Botox injection ever again.
What happened?
It's muscle spasms throughout the body. I didn't have a voice for 2.5 weeks, and they told me I would never recover a voice ever again, completely, 100%.
Yikes. And yet, Dr. Cooper, you say that Even there's a group that's sort of an advocacy group for people who suffer this strangled voice that advocates botulinum toxin injections as the way to treat it, and that it is otherwise totally incurable.
The medical profession hasn't had a single cure in 130 years since Trout first discussed it in 1871. For the record, the sport group, Spasmodic Dysphonic Group, has generous donations of money from Allergan, the maker of botulinum toxin called Botox. And they have serious side effects, which I find they're not reporting. Fran had very serious side effects, spasming of the neck and the chest and so forth. I report cures for over 25 years, and the medical profession and the Spasmodic Dysphonic Association are in denial about these cures and not giving patients the choice to decide for themselves to get a better voice by direct voice rehabilitation.
You describe yourself as a pain in the backside to a lot of people who advocate botulinum toxin. Why is it that you are at such loggerheads with some of the other people here?
Because I'm a non-invasive procedure, and the medics, a small group of them, are giving Botox shots ongoing. They have 700 patients, 900 patients. They have an annuity for life. I'm saying there's a cure and been reporting the cure for over 25 years. I'm a former professor at UCLA Medical Center, and the patients I have cured come from the Mayo Clinic, diagnosed there, UCLA Medical Center, Scripps. We had Ginger Chang, who was diagnosed at Scripps and told it's hopeless. She came in, had a work with me by direct voice rehabilitation, has been cured over 1 year. Gail Pace at UCLA Medical Center, diagnosed by Dr. Burke, the chairperson. He referred her. She had abductor and adductor, such as Fran had, diagnosed at Vanderbilt, and she has a voice for over 9 years cured. The Mayo Clinic.
Right. That's right.
Yes, Fran?
Yes, I just wanted to add, there are a lot of people out there who do not think there's a cure for spasmodic dysphonia. And there is a cure. Obviously, listen to my voice. It's curable. So for the people out there that I've talked to all over the websites and internet that are stuck in their homes for 20 and 30 years, I want them to know that there is a possibility of rehabilitation. And I think that's important.
With that, we'll let that be the final and emphatic word.
Thank
Fran and Dr. Cooper, we thank you both for being with us and for explaining this. Thanks once again.
You.
We're back in studio, and who said something about my hair?
The technician.
Technician said, and you laughed. I had more hair than I do now. I pull my hair out because I work with patients who make a federal case of a simplicity, that you have an excellent chance if you have spasmodic dysphonia to get a natural cure. My colleagues are well-intentioned in medicine and academia, and they're compassionate, humane, but they're on the wrong road. None of them have ever had a single cure of spasmodic dysphonia. Never. In over 135 years, beginning in 1871 when Trout first described the condition. There's something wrong with what's going on. I cannot cure a medical problem. It's not a medical problem from my experience. You are talking wrong. Who are you?
I'm Nancy.
Nancy. You have spasmodic dysphonia.
I do.
You had how many Botox shots?
About 6 or 7.
Mm-hmm. And the outcome?
Well, the aftermath of the shots left me very breathy for a number of weeks. Mm-hmm. And so, therefore, the period of time where you had less of a shaky voice was not that long. Perhaps it was 6 weeks, but it certainly wasn't a cure by any means.
They guarantee there are no cures. You're on Botox for 4 to 10 times a year, each and every year, maybe more times than that.
That's correct.
The cost is $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. I call it a full employment act for those who are giving the Botox shots. There are only 200 of them in the country, basically, of 10,000, of 14,300. Only 200 doing it. And it's a lifetime annuity, I say. I'm sorry to say that, but I think that's unfair.
My bigger concern that no one could seem to answer was, what are the long-term effects of continuous Botox injections?
Nobody knows. Brin, who brought Botox to the field, Dr. Mitchell Brin, in 1984, said in 1991, before hundreds of people, and I was there, that he wanted to withdraw Botox at the earliest possible time, fearing the long-term downside effects on the body. Today, he's the Vice President of Development for Allergan, which he is employed by that company, and he says that statement is dated. It may well be, but nobody knows the long-term downside effects on the body. So there is a concern and consideration. You have any other comments about the long-term downside effects on the body? Nobody knows.
The other question that I would have for you is, in treating your SD patients, what is the turning point where people seem to be able to put together appropriate breath support and raise the pitch so that the sound is projected through the face rather than the lower throat? Is there a secret or a key to putting this all together?
There is a key to getting your voice out of the lower throat. Just say yes. Just say yes.
Yes.
Say it again.
Yes.
Say it again.
Yes.
Again.
Yes.
Do you feel that voice up in your face?
Yes.
All right. Where do you talk?
Normally.
Yeah.
Down in the lower throat.
Right. Sarah, can you hear the change?
Absolutely.
Your name is Sarah, and you have what I call muscle tension disorder. You don't have SD. You were told that you might have spasmodic dysphonia, right?
That's correct.
My comment to you initially is that I don't hear it. Is that correct?
That's correct.
You have a bad voice. It's a breathy voice, and it doesn't last long.
Right.
You can't talk throughout the day. How long can you talk with the voice that you're using?
I have about an hour a day of speech available to me.
Right. And then your voice, can you feel the tension in your lower throat?
I can.
Okay. Just hum. Just hum. Mm-hmm.
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 Now, hum the first bar of Happy Birthday. Just hum it. Now just point to where you feel it. Right. And that's where you should be talking. You don't do that. You talk in the lower throat.
Right.
Okay. You can't say mm-hmm, can you, Nancy?
Not easily.
Try it.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Again.
Mm-hmm.
Try it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now say yes.
Yes.
That's where I want you. I want you to raise the pitch. I want Sarah to raise the pitch. Sarah says it doesn't sound good, it's unfamiliar to her. Use it. If it were acceptable to her, she could do it by herself. And she's going to fight using that range because it doesn't sound right to her, doesn't feel right to her, robotic, artificial, phony, not you. Is that correct, Sarah?
It doesn't feel familiar to me.
Right. Now just say mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I want you to do this. I want you to say, hum the first bar of Happy Birthday. Now say what you just said a moment ago. It doesn't sound right or whatever.
It doesn't sound right.
No, but I want you to say it right off the humming the Happy Birthday. Say it in the same place.
It doesn't sound as normal.
Okay, say it louder. You're dropping down.
It doesn't sound normal to me.
Good, say it louder.
It doesn't sound normal to me.
I want you to say it like I'm deaf.
It doesn't sound normal to me.
Now hum, mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm, one.
Mm-hmm, one.
Mm-hmm, two.
Mm-hmm, two.
Can you feel the voice up there?
Not yet.
Okay, you drop down. Say, mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Say one.
One.
Mm-hmm, one.
Mm-hmm, one.
Mm-hmm, two.
Mm-hmm, two.
There's your voice. Okay. You hear that voice, Nancy?
Absolutely.
Does it sound good to you?
Very good.
Does it sound loud?
No,
She says it sounds loud.
it sounds very natural.
Okay. So we're fighting a voice image. I call it voice mythology, voice myths. What do you do?
I'm an attorney.
Say yes.
Yes,
Why didn't you talk up there?
because it's unfamiliar.
That's your voice, the yes. Say yes.
Yes,
So what I want you to do is, when you're in the office with me or here for 2 weeks, yes, one, yes, two. Let me hear you do it.
yes, one. Yes, two. Yes, three. Yes, four.
And how do you normally talk?
I normally talk in the lower pitch.
Why?
I'm not sure why.
Well, the medics say you have a neurological problem. You have a basal ganglia dysfunction. You have a chemical imbalance in your brain. They can't find it. You have a genetic problem.